Just a really nice job by our bullpen today. I thought that Wiggins came out and threw the ball really well. A couple of changeups for strikes, one slider, one cutter for a strike, a lot of fastballs. He actually located some really well down and away, and good velocities. So that was really good to see him get through 3 innings without giving up a run. A couple of strikeouts, pitched contact more than normal, which is fine with us. The strikeouts will get better when the off-speed stuff starts developing a little bit. And then just going through the bullpen, trying to get some guys some work. For the most part, they all did a nice job for us. But, I think the story of the offense was just, we got 5 hits in a row there in the 7th, tight game, and, a couple of big hits, ball off the wall, and then a 3-run homer to kind of ice it a little bit. But just really, really excited about how it went today. Gave a few of our starters a rest, and it worked out. Bob?
Hey, Dave, you guys basically are playing for pride today. I mean, and you still went out and beat Florida 9-3, using your pitchers like you're playing, Missouri State on Tuesday or something. Just what do you think about, and last night you had every reason to have a letdown. Guys probably didn't get to bed till real late. Just what do you think about the way you guys came out and played like you were playing, but the title still hadn't been decided?
Yeah, I mean, this is the way this team is. It's its personality. I've said it for the last 2 months. It's like these guys, when they step on the field, they want to win. And, there was no motivation speeches about playing hard and let's go ahead and win this. I didn't just told them to play hard and, get after it. And the little things, what we need to talk about, how to beat the guys over there, as far as a pitcher or, something like that. I didn't have to get into anything about trying to get them to want to be there. I mean, they showed up and got after it. And that's this team. That's the 21 team, man. They're something else.
And then what'd you think about your pitching overall? I think you used 7 guys. I lost track. And then what'd you think of Wiggins going 3 shutout innings?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned that open statement. I thought he did a tremendous job. Filled up the strike zone, didn't walk anybody, got a couple of strikeouts. Was ahead in the count most of the time. He threw 3 or 4 different off-speed pitches over the plate, got some swings, and located his fastball pretty well. So he was good, man. I was excited to see it. We all were, and happy for him. And he had to sit on that 2-run homer for a week without being on the mound, and I know he was ready to get back out there and move on, and he did a tremendous job there. And then the bullpen, an inning here, an inning there. I thought they were tremendous for the most part. We had I'd say that it got a little nerve-wracking a couple of times, but for the most part, they pitched out of a couple of jams. Toll got him a double play ball and then a strikeout. It almost looked like it took him a batter or 2 to get into it. And coach talked to him about that. You got to be ready when you go. And so still learning some things about these guys, and they're learning as well. I hope it'll help us maybe in the tournament or down the road.
Okay, I got a couple more, but I'll turn it back to Oliver. Thanks, Dave.
Clay.
Coach, you talk early in the year about just trying to get better every day. And it looks like that's kind of what's going on. I mean, from 2 weeks ago to today, it seems like a better team. I mean, how do you do that?
Well, first off, you have to stay healthy. And, we had something to play for. Obviously, we're trying to win a championship. And, guys work hard. And, our practices aren't overly hard, and they're not overly they're not real long. I think the guys really appreciate that. They've done a really nice job in the weight room and staying in shape and strong and keeping their weight. And we monitor that a lot now. And I just, we have good players. And, usually as you go on throughout the season, guys get better until they get tired. And I don't feel like we're tired.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. Nate?
Just what does it mean to finally win an SEC game without having comps to either win it or save it?
Yeah, it was nice. Obviously, we were going to throw Kevin again today. Didn't even write him in. didn't write a couple guys in, but you know, the other guys picked them up. They did a good job. I mean, I think on the weekend we might have walked 3 or 4 or 5 guys max, 4 maybe. We walked 1 today. When you use 8 pitchers, that's unusual. So that was big. And you know, Florida, they only walked 2 all day as well. But when you're using as many pitchers that we use, and some guys that haven't pitched in a while, usually there's going to be a breakdown here or there, and we really didn't. So I don't know.
Also, any update on Paulette? Just what, if has he been examined today or anything?
You know, I was told early this morning, they were going to get examined today around 2. I don't know if he did or not. I'll find out here in a little bit. So I haven't heard anything. And I was told that even if he did get examined today, he was going to get examined again tomorrow. So by a different situation. So we'll know tomorrow afternoon, I'm guessing.
Thank you.
Tom?
Oh, hey, Dave, you've known for a couple of days now that you'd be have a bye at the tournament, and you got national people like Kyle Peterson saying you are the #1 seed. It doesn't matter what happens in Hoover. I'm wondering what your initial thoughts on how you'll approach Hoover, pitching, position player, just the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, we have an idea who we're going to start game 1, and that may be obvious, but we won't announce that yet. And then I would like to see all of our weekend starters get on the mound in Hoover. It'd be nice to play at least, 3 games. I'd like to play more. I'd like to win it, but at the same time, you got to take care of the arms. You got to take care of everybody. It's supposed to be really hot. I think someone told me it's supposed to be 96 there on Monday. We're going to get there on Monday evening and then work out at, I think, Samford University on Tuesday. Supposed to be 92, 93. We haven't played in that type of heat. So we'll work out on Monday here and then get out of town. But we'll monitor that, the heat, the grind, just you get a feel, but you can just watch them, see how they're acting. So we'll just obviously try to get through game 1 on Wednesday and then go from there.
And when you say try to get all 3 weekend starters, does that mean Jackson Wiggins is now a weekend starter? And then would you not really try to stress Cops as much, not maybe use them quite as much like you had on weekend?
You won't see Cops stretch no, not at all. Maybe once. We'll see. I mean, if you put him in on Wednesday to win a game and he throws 12 pitches in 1 inning, then yeah, you could use him again maybe one other time. But, try to get him ready for the next weekend. And it just depends on the situation as well and how much stress he's been under. But we will rest him a little bit. But I've talked to a lot of coaches over the years that say they've rested guys in tournaments, and then when they pitch them, they don't pitch good. They want to pitch. They need to pitch. They need to keep going. And so we'll try to figure that out. Yeah, it'll be a tournament that we're going to do the best we can in, but also try to get our pitchers ready. And I didn't ever answer your question about Wiggins. No, Wiggins is not necessarily a starter for us as of right now. I mean, we'll probably get him on the field there, but I thought Bolden pitched pretty good. And I mean, we have options there. Obviously, Wicklander and maybe Lockhart. So there's some options.
Aiden?
Hey, Coach, over 30,000 this weekend, full capacity. I'm just kind of wondering, with the emotional high of last night, walking it off, and then seeing that great crowd again today, just a few hours later, where does this weekend stack up? It felt like a regional and just a super, but as far as regular season, winning the title, that crowd being out there, where does this one rank?
Well, especially after being off a full year from being around this type of crowd or this situation, and then you take what these games meant for us as a team, winning the overall SEC championship, and then the crowds, I'd say it'd probably be one of the top ever for me personally, just because of all that, that had gone on over the last 15, 16 months. So it was big time. The fans were awesome.
Pudge?
Dave, Brady had the opposite field homer to start the scoring, and then also the 3-run homer to kind of end it. What did you think of his day at the plate?
I thought he had a great day, obviously. I mean, he drove in 5 runs. He's got a bunch of RBIs, probably around 60. The first swing gave us a 2-run lead, and I think it kind of shocked him over there in their dugout. It kind of caught him off guard. He got a left-handed hitter that goes oppo and hit it way out. I mean, it jumped. It was a no doubter off the bat. And then, the second swing was off a left-hander that hadn't given up a hit to a lefty all season. Lefties were 0 for 12 against him. And, he hit that against the wind, probably about 380 feet. And if it hadn't been the wind, it probably would have went over the scoreboard. So big day, 2 big swings, 5 RBIs on 2 swings, and that's why we won the game.
And Welch had another pinch hit double today. I was wondering if you could give me some background on him. Like, how did y'all find him in the JUCO ranks? And I know his stats didn't really jump off the page, but what did you see in him that made y'all want to bring him in?
So we felt like we needed another catcher. Coach, it goes back many years. He wanted to come here out of high school. He actually came to our camp, and we didn't take him. And originally he might have been, I think he was committed to South Carolina. There was a coaching change. They told him they didn't want him to come. It was crazy. So, so we knew him as a younger person, and he was really known more for maybe his catching than his hitting. He ended up going to Pepperdine, I think, out of high school. Then he went to junior college last year, and yeah, I mean, he just bounced around. But then he was playing summer ball in the Texas League. He was playing the Texarkana area, and we just kept talking to him, and he wanted to come here. And we said, we want you to come here. And when we got him here, and he was hitting home runs in that summer league. I mean, he had 5 or 6 home runs with a wood bat and hadn't played a lot of games. We're going, hey, the guy's got some pop, talking to their coach. And so that's how it kind of all went down. And, we could tell when we got him here in the fall that he could hit.
Randy?
Speaking of Charlie, Dave, what role can you find for Charlie? Swinging a hot stick, but you're kind of loaded, especially at the catcher position.
Yeah, I mean, he's been working out some at first, but he's probably more of a DH. He might end up catching for us some in the future, but, he's going to get to hit for us. And so we'll just kind of let it evolve a little bit. And, it's hard getting him on the field this year with what we have, but he's such a weapon off the bench. They make a move. They're thinking they're going left on left. We get to plug him in there, and, it's worked out a lot more than it hasn't.
You're at the end of the regular season now. Do you feel like you're peaking at the right time?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, we're not going backwards. I think that's probably the main thing. As good as we played for the last month, it's not like I feel like, yeah, we've hit the top now, we're going the other way. I think we're just steady Eddie, and some games are good and some games are real good. And today we ended up being a pretty kind of in between. And even with some guys that hadn't played a whole lot, they really contributed.
Bob, anything else?
Yeah, Dave, I know we've been talking about Welch a lot, but 3 for 3 as a pitch hitter in this series. So now I think he's like 8 of 12. So I think that's 750. And then he's 6 and 9 in the SEC. I think that's 660. I mean, those are really great numbers. I mean, is there anything more you can say about this guy as a pinch hitter?
Yeah, I mean, he gets ready early. I mentioned it last night. It's not like I just call on him and he runs over, panics, and finds his helmet. He's usually got it in his hand, in his bat, and he's thinking about the pitchers, and he's looking at scouting reports. And, I mean, even his at bat after he was in the game officially as our designated hitter second time, he drove that ball to right field. And if there's no wind, that ball goes out of the park. It's got a shot. I mean, he hit it good. It's got caught in the wind. But, yeah, I mean, it's special that a guy can concentrate and go up and have a good at bat when he hadn't been in the game.
And then, Florida, they come in here, they're ranked in the top 10. They're obviously a big time program. Like you said, they probably, very, very talented, and you guys sweep them. What do you think about that?
Well, the first 2 games were extremely close. Could have gone either way, nail biters, whatever you want to call them. One mistake here, one pitch there, one play. We got some big hits, obviously. And it was about, first day was about getting two out hits. Yesterday was about chipping away. And then 2-strike home run ties it. And then obviously what happened in the bottom of the ninth. I mean, they're a really good team. We're just finding ways to win. I mean, there's really not a whole lot I can say about it. I feel very fortunate to beat that good of a team 3 times on the weekend. It's hard enough to beat them once, much less 3.
I think that was Slavin's second 2 home run game, and Morris had 2, and a bunch of other guys have done it. I think it's maybe 10 times, which seems really crazy to say and to contemplate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a little unusual. We've got a lot of guys in our lineup, have 9, 10 plus home runs, and then 4 or 5 of them have hit 2 in one game, and it's hard enough to hit 1, much less 2. So a little unusual, but there's a lot of competition amongst the players, man. They're competing in the dugout as well. It's fun.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Coach, you have anything else to finish us off?
Yeah, just one more, Dave. You've kind of touched on your bullpen today, but did any of those guys you use particularly stand out to you with how they did today?
I thought Vermillion was really good. He was good. And Ryan's stuff was really good. I thought Nolan's stuff was good. It just missed a little bit. Probably threw too many pitches as far as, a couple, 3 full counts, but I have confidence in those guys. So we'll definitely use those guys if needed this week.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Okay. See you later.